All right, and we are live. Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session on mental health and well being that is being hosted by Madhu, who's both a psychotherapist and a counselor. Um, in a recent poll we conducted on November 21st, we had around 370 participants, and 78% indicated that a session such as this would be preferred. Most of the respondents provided suggestions on topics such as future, job, career, financials, stress, anxiety, and depression. So today, Madhu will be covering on the surface some of those topics, but she will be looking forward to the session after that, where you can present your concerns live with us. You can do that either via the chat box, web chat over here. I've also typed in the Zoom link, so you can feel free to join in the Zoom link as well, and voice out any concerns that you have. So a bit about Madhu. As a practicing psychotherapist and counselor, Madhu helps people to live an emotionally healthy and empowered life. She uses an eclectic approach in her therapy sessions, which give her an edge in adopting a holistic approach towards the well-being of her clients. Her clients include people from all walks of life, including youngsters, professionals, doctors, Indians working abroad, and many more. Apart from this, Madhu is an accomplished corporate trainer in the areas of soft skills, behavioral, and leadership training. She is a certified leadership trainer from the Development Dimension International, DDI. Over the career spanning 15 plus years, she's known for her passion in whatever she does, with an eye for detail and bringing out the best in a person, be it her team and client. So without further ado, please do welcome Madhu to this forum over here. Madhu, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Hello, everyone. Okay, so I believe I'm live on YouTube, and but I'm there on Zoom. All right. So how many participants can I see?
Right now, there are 11, but we have people started joining in.
Okay. All right. Okay. So as Kathy mentioned, friends, that there was a poll conducted, and I was actually looking at the responses. What are the concern areas? For you guys. So most of the concern areas that I got was, for me, from a psychological perspective, lied in the area of anxiety. So it was anxiety about future, anxiety about the uncertain times that we are currently living in, which basically translates into uncertainty about the employment, job, and even the salary structure probably. And also there are concerns regarding lack of information. A lot of information regarding opening and placement and all of that was mine. Ultimately, it appears to be resulting into a lot of chaos in mind, anxiety, sleep disturbance, insomnia, and so many other things related to that. So what I've done is I am going to be talking about mainly about how to manage anxiety. All right. And then, of course, the session would be open after that for questions, and where you can ask me any questions related to mental health that you might be facing right now. All right. Does that sound good? Okay. So I'm just going to be sharing my screen. All right. So, what is anxiety if you guys look at it? Because you are students currently, so I'm going to be talking about the anxieties that you guys are facing right now around what you all have to deal with. I believe a lot of you are into the middle of the examinations or exams are approaching. Of course, this adds to the whole pressure on you all. Now, anxiety at the core of it is a demand which we make from either ourselves or from someone else, or in general from life, that everything should be fine, and if something is not fine, then I will not be able to handle it, something on those lines. Now, we all have some kind of anxiety or some kind of concern about the future, which is fine. Some amount of stress and nervousness and anxiety is actually good. It will help you to prepare better. It will help you to deal with the situations better. It becomes a problem when it becomes compulsive and excessive in nature. Okay, so which means that you can't stop thinking about the future and you're constantly thinking about that, so much so that your present work or task is getting affected. So that's the time when we have to kind of know that something needs to be done about it. Now, as I was talking about the demands that we make, so broadly we can say that the demands that we make can be categorized into three kind of demands that all of us have. Any kind of emotional disturbance would be around these kind of demands that we are making. So the first one would be when we are insisting that, okay, insistence for comfort, which would mean that, okay, it should be like that, okay, and I'm not comfortable if I don't get it. Okay, so there can be various examples. So there can be for example, the current situation, okay, I'm not able to meet friends, I'm not able to socialize, and so many other things, right? So many activities that I can't go out and all of that. So and if we are not able to do that, then we get uncomfortable, we get anxious about the situation. Second demand that we make is insistence for control. It has to be like this. It has to be like this. If it's not like this, I should know what is going to be there. And I have to have my way. If it's not my way, then I can't take it. Third could be insistence for certainty. Okay, I should know how the job scene is going to be, for example. I should know when the pandemic is going to end, and so on and so forth. Because if I don't know things, things are not in my control, they are not certain. And again, I am not able to deal with the situations. So at the core of it, we have to understand that we have to uh, forego the demand for either comfort or control or certainty that we are demanding from our environment or from our own selves. Also, sometimes I have to get X number of marks, or I have to get a good job, and things like that. Having said that, what you can do now, you might be, I've written 3 bullet points about the basic things that needs to be there in order. One is sleep, diet, and physical activity. Now, you might say that these are very, very basic things. Yes, they are basic, but studies have shown that if any of these three elements is disturbed, then any which ways mental health goes for a toss. So for example, if even for one day, if I'm not able to sleep properly, for example, for some reason, the next day I will be moody, my mood would be, I'll be irksome, I'll be irritated and all of that, right? Similarly, especially young kids like you, diet, having a healthy diet. I'm not saying that you have like only healthy, but yes, having at least a healthy mix of a healthy or a non-healthy diet is important. It is again known to have an effect on your mental health, on your mood, on your ability to deal with the situations, because there are some hormones which are secreted and which can go either ways. Like it can really help you deal with the situation, or it can get you very, very moody in that time. Physical activity, I can't say enough. You could choose anything: dancing, running, walking, sport jogging, if you can't go out, any of that. But please have a control on these three as a basic thing to do. Now, if the anxiety has set in, okay, what to do in that moment? Understand. So when I'm talking about anxiety, so you would be feeling symptoms like, your heart would be racing, you'd be sweating, or maybe there's shallow breathing, fast, shallow breathing. All of that is happening, right? Now, what you can do, you can't do anything in that situation once the emotion has already begun. So, in that moment, you have to acknowledge that it is, I am feeling what I am feeling, and you have to embrace the emotion. You have to feel what you're feeling. You please do not stop yourself to feel what you're feeling. If you're feeling very choked and chest tightness and sweating and all of that, please know that, okay, I am feeling and it will pass. Tell yourself that, okay, I know that I'm feeling anxious right now and it will pass. It's difficult for me in the moment, but it will pass, right? The second thing what you can do is, which is very important, because anxiety is about the future and mostly based on the past experiences. So when you are feeling anxious, you are either in the past or you are in the future. You are not in the present, when in our language, which in our language we call here and now. So what you could do is deep breathing. Deep breathing is understated. The value of deep breathing is understated. Now I'll take really 1 minute to actually teach you guys how to deep breathe. Okay, so you have to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, and making a little sound while you're exhaling, and it has to be really deep. While you're doing it, you have to observe the movement of your abdomen. So when you are inhaling, the abdomen will go upwards and outwards. When you're exhaling, the abdomen will go downwards and inwards, right? So shall we take a moment to do that? Because most of us don't do this right. Okay. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 3 deep breaths and you're going to do it along with me. Let's start. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Watch your abdomen. One more time. Deep inhale through your nose. I hope you did it along with me. You will realize, you will feel that your thoughts were still wandering, which is okay. Try and bring back to the movement of the abdomen. That will help you be in the present moment and help you deal with that anxiety better in that moment. Grounding techniques, you can look it up on the internet, but a very, very simple grounding techniques is taking, using all your, what do you call, senses, 5 senses, you know, so see 5 things. So see, hear, touch. So you can do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So maybe see 5 things, hear 4 things, and touch 3 things, smell 2 things, and taste 1 thing. Okay, if you are able to do that, you will realize that it has settling. You will feel that the anxiety is settling in that moment. So this is about what you can do in the moment. Now, some of the things, some of the conceptual things, some of the possible directions that you can keep in mind is, why do anxiety occur? If you look at it, basically it occurs because there are thought distortions happening in your mind. When I'm saying thought distortions, so basically it's irrational thoughts, I can say. So so let's say, so in fact I can give you the example of, I deal with like some of the students are my clients. So I was actually having a session with one of the clients who is to appear in the exam today, and she was feeling very, very anxious because she could not prepare as much as she should have done, right? So now she was like, I am going to not clear my exam because you know, I have not prepared well as much as I had thought. Now this is a thought distortion, because you are talking only negative thing, and if I ask you to prove, you will not be able to prove to me that why you are thinking like that, that why because you could not prepare well. Okay, how do you know that you will not be able to do well in the exams? Okay. um, Or you can catastrophize your thinking. Nothing is going right, things are really bad, it is happening in my final year, for example, and all of that, so you are not able to, you actually make a really big situation out of a small situation. That's you are not doing. I always say there's a monkey mind inside our mind, okay, that is doing all of that. So it's like either black or white, okay, and I don't see something in between. That's what is happening with us. So you have to watch out for thought distortions. And linking to this, so mostly you will realize that what you're thinking is, what if I don't do well in my exams? What if I don't get a good job? Okay, what if I my life is not doing well, and things like that. Whatever are your concerns at the moment, or what if I don't get a good salary, and so on and so forth. Okay, now what is to be done is, number one, uh, which you can use as a tip, so whatever you're thinking, number one, write it down. Write down your thoughts. That I am thinking, what if I don't fare well in my exams? Okay? I will not fare well in my exams. Now you have to, as I said, there's a monkey brain which is telling you all these things. So what you need to do is you just need to prefix I am thinking. Just prefix I am thinking. I am thinking that I will not be able to fare well in exams. It may not be true. I am thinking that I'll not be able to fare well in exams, and it may not be true. So this is my thought. This is not the reality. So differentiation between thought and reality. Okay, because reality nobody knows unless it's there. And what is causing us problem right now is worry about the future, excessive worry about the future. Other thing which you can do is understanding that there will always be situations, or in all the situations there'll be some things which you have control on, there'll be some things which you may not have control on, or you would not have control on. You will realize, if you actually focus, that you are focusing most of the time on the things which you do not have control on, right? So what is happening with uh, like pandemic and all of that, whatever it is, you know, you do not have control on. What you can do is actually what I have realized is, I don't know whether you are able to, Kathy, can you tell me whether this sheet is visible, that I'm holding it?
One sec. No, you mean seeing with you holding it?
I am holding a sheet. Is that visible?
Yes. You say what I can and when I can. Maybe it should be a
Yes.
little bit closer to the screen.
Closer screen. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Right. So I don't know whether you can see it Sida or Ulta, but
Yeah.
what,
That's
all right. So basically what you can do is, friends, that you can draw a T on a sheet of paper. Okay. On one side, as I've written, what I can, and on the other side, I've mentioned why I can't. Okay. So what you're going to do is put a big cross on why I can't, because there is no point thinking why I can't, right? And you are going to write down all the things that you can do on this side, on the left side. All right, so that's what you're going to do, and you will see that you'll be able to objectively look at the situation, and the things will be much more in your control, right? Other things which people do mistake of doing is that you start comparing yourself, your performance or something, with that of your colleague or friend. Okay, please don't do that. It does not help. Okay, everybody's life journey is different, and you have to fight your battle. You have to uh, lead your life, and you have to work on your strengths. Having said that, uh, you have to accept your limitations, because many times I've seen that, okay, that I am insistent that, okay, why I am not able to do well. for example. Why am I not able to, uh, let's say even if you're not able to go for physical activity, so rather than, so you are planning that you will be going for some kind of running or exercise, okay, but you're not able to do that. So don't chastise yourself. Tell yourself it's fine, okay, I did not do, I'll do tomorrow or day after or whatever, okay. And if somebody is able to do X, I do not have to match up. I have my own strengths and weaknesses, and accept your limitations. Very, very important. Okay. Other thing which I've seen with my work with students, what I've seen is that creating a study schedule helps them take that pressure off their mind. All right. uh, that is what is I have seen that it can get very, very helpful for them. So these are some of the pointers that I thought that would be useful for you. Another thing which I think I would like to end the session with, after which it will be open for questions. I live by this statement, friends: our freedom lies in the pause between stimulus and response, which basically means life would throw situations at you. How do you respond to the situations is where your power lies, is where your freedom lies. You guys are young right now. You have just started on. There will be situations, all right? And take a pause. Every situation is not a problem. Situation is a situation till the time it becomes a problem. You make it a problem, right? Take a pause. Don't need to handle the situation immediately. Taking a pause is extremely crucial, and then see what you can do about the situation. Every situation comes with a problem, more than one solutions to the problem. So I live by this statement, and I thought I would like to share it with you. Okay, and I throw the floor open for questions now.
Thank you for that, Madhu. Yes, so we have opened it for questions. We do have two individuals with us on Zoom. Would you like to go ahead before we take the
Yes,
questions on chat?
absolutely, absolutely, sure. Please go ahead.
Vaisak,
Need
Aman,
not necessarily be, yeah, Vaisak and Amandeep. It need not necessarily be related to anxiety, any kind of mental health concern. If you're feeling any kind of emotional disturbance, which you think is causing even a slight problem for you, please discuss it with me.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, hi, Amandeep.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, like from the past 8 months or so, we are in
Yes.
our houses. So, it's a quite of bit of time that we have lost some like kind of opportunities that we are getting, like that were planned. So, like
Mm.
we don't like. I'm a former student member of like team member. So
Okay.
actually, we were going to participate in our first international event this year. So it also
Okay.
got cancelled. Then there are many such like things that happened, like
Hmm.
yeah. So it's
Right.
quite a bit disturbing because like how should I like not forget this thing, but like maybe like try
Okay.
to cope with this,
All right.
cope up with
All
this,
right.
yeah.
Yes, I think you have used a very good word, how to cope with this. Uh, all right. How are you coping with it presently, if I can ask you that, Amandeep?
Maybe like just that was not like when I think of it, I just like try to like just
Hmm.
neglect the thoughts that come in my mind about that thing.
Right.
Maybe just yeah, try to
Okay.
forget what has happened.
Right. So, what is your mind saying at this point of time would be, it should not have happened. Whatever happened, it should not have happened like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. Now,
yeah.
I'm giving you an alternate statement. Repeat that.
Okay.
The alternate statement is, what is, we think what is shouldn't be, but it is.
Okay, should I repeat this?
Yes, I'm saying what is, the statement
What?
is, and I'm going to explain to that. What
Okay.
is dot dot dot
What?
shouldn't be. Should I write it in
Okay.
the chat box? Will that help?
No, no,
Okay.
it's, yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
What is
Uh,
shouldn't be,
what is shouldn't be, like,
but it is.
but it is. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Now we think that whatever it is happening should not be happening. So if you would
Yeah.
have heard my session, I said that we make three demands: insistence for control, certainty, and comfort,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's where we get stuck, Amandeep, all of us, including me also, right? So we have to remind ourselves that the first thing about handling the situation, any kind of situation, is accepting the situation. Can you do
Okay.
anything about it? Can you do anything about having the event cancelled or other things that you're talking about? Could you have done anything to stop that from happening? Right.
No,
So aren't we
I can't.
kind of
Yeah.
then focusing on the things which are not in our control,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So which there would always be some things which are not in our control. All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we have to accept whatever it is happening, okay, which are not in our control, and do something about that. Despite all that, what I can do, what I can do
Okay.
is where your power lies. So
Right.
so accept that it is what it is. First, settle down your feelings there, and then you'll be able to see the path of growth. Right now, you're stuck at it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
And yes, Kathy, yes, absolutely. Writing down your thoughts is a great idea. And this is for all. If you're feeling overwhelmed, writing down your thoughts is always a great idea to feel a little better in that moment.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
Vesak. Yes, great. Thanks.
So, Madhu, we do have a question via YouTube. I'm just going to
Sure.
paste it in here. The question is from Ravi Teja.
Okay.
Sorry, I think it gets missed in Zoom. Greetings, ma'am. I'm an undergraduate third year student. I'm with epilepsy. These days, I have a lot of seizures. How to handle these, ma'am, without having my goals disturbed?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I'm sure, Ravi, that you would be taking your medicines on time, because as far as I know about seizures, epilepsy, you really have to, your sleep, the basics really need to be in order. And I know particularly this about epilepsy, though I'm not a doctor, right? So I'm assuming that you are doing all those things: sleep, no booze, diet. I think these are very, very crucial, and taking your medicines on time is extremely crucial. Okay. Uh, it is a difficult situation for you, Ravi. Okay, because you are having seizures, so it is a difficult situation for you. Now, when you are talking about how to handle these without having the goals disturbed, okay, I see where you are right now. Are these coming in the way, is it physically coming, those seizures, the time that it is taking, is it physically coming in your way of achieving your goal in terms of your studies, right? Or is it the mental disturbance that is causing the problem for you? So I think first distinguish between that, okay, and then see if it is about the mental disturbance, then take care of that mental disturbance. And again, as I was talking to Amandeep, this is again one of the things that you don't have any control on. We have to. I have some, I'll talk about myself. I have some condition in my leg. right? And I have been a trainer for a large part of my life, right? Now, if I continue to think that, I can't do that, and it did create a huge problem for me. If I would have continued to be mentally stuck that it is a problem for me because I have this condition in my leg, okay, I would not have been able to do that. You have to accept that this is what it is and now move forward, right? So, develop healthy coping mechanisms, talk to your friends, communicate to people whosoever you can. And if it's really causing a problem, just talk to your, in terms of, I don't know to what extent this is causing the problem. And if you want to, maybe you can talk to the authorities, the professors and all, in any way, if you can, you think that they can help you. Have I answered your question, Ravi? Okay. Vajreshwari is writing, I can't turn off my mind at night. How do I do that? Okay. I'm
It seems to be a
reminded.
common problem with a lot of us.
No, I'm reminded of one thing which I used to actually do in my training days. So okay, so if there's a pen I have to lift from the floor, for example, I'm like, I'm trying to pick this pen. It's like, you don't have to try, you just have to do it. I'll keep on trying, it will not happen. And the moment I say, okay, I want to pick up that pen, all right, it will do it. Okay, so I know you might not like my answer, Vajreshwari. So the thing is that decide. Looks like you have not decided that I will sleep on time, okay, and all of that. Turning off your mind, first see that, are you turning off your mobile phone, blue screen at least away from, like off, switched off at least 1 hour before, uh, and get into that sleep mode, sleep routine, have a healthy sleep routine. Do that, those things basic. Now, as I was saying, journaling is a very, very healthy way to put down whatever is there in your mind on the paper. Okay. Most likely it should help you. Okay. If it doesn't, then if it still doesn't, then I think you should talk to somebody. Observe your thoughts. What is it? What is it that your mind telling you? That you would have some thoughts, and if you journal, put it on the paper, you will see that there might be some issues which you're facing. So anxiety is a reflection, it's a symptom, it's not a problem itself, right? So take care of those underlying issues which are causing your mind to not be able to shut down. You'll have to do that.
Yeah, Madhu, and to even highlight on your point on journaling, it just helps you clear out whatever is not the priority and whatever is actually priority, because sometimes there are all these spider webs created by something that is really small of a thought.
Yes.
So,
In fact, I want to share the story of one story which I think which will help a lot of people here. Can I do that?
Yes, please go for it.
Okay, I think it would answer this question of Sanchit, where he's asking what should be our mindset during hard times. Okay, absolutely. So this is the perfect time to share this story. So this story is of a pregnant deer. Okay, many of you might have heard this story. It's a very common story, but it makes a lot of sense. So I want to share it. Now, there was this deer who was in labor fully. She was about to deliver the baby. Okay, and she was in this field. And then the situation was that on one side, there was a strong flowing river. On another side, there was this heavy, dense forest. Okay. On one side, there was a lion just, ready to jump on her to eat. And on the fourth side, there was this hunter with the bow and the arrow, again, ready to kind of shoot at her. So there were clouds, and it was about to rain. Okay, now what happened? So there was clouds and light storms also, thundering and lightning was happening. And lightning fell down in the forest, and the forest caught fire. Now imagine the situation of this deer who was caught on all four sides. On one side, there's a flowing river, she can't do anything. On another side, there's a burning forest, she can't do anything. On one side, the third side, there's a lion, and in the front, there's this hunter, okay, with bow and arrow already marked at her. Can anyone tell me, maybe you can type it in the chat box, what should this pregnant deer do? What should this pregnant deer do? I hope the story is clear, the situation is clear. Is it, Kathy?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'll repeat once again the situation. On one side, there's a strong flowing river. On another side, there's a burning forest. Third side, lion. Fourth side, hunter. No place to go. What should this pregnant deer do? Any answers, friends? People who are there on Zoom, they can speak it out, and people who are there watching directly, maybe type it out.
I think we have a lot of shy people today.
No, this question is not easy.
Yes.
This question is not easy. Kathy, if you could, if you know this story, then don't, but if you can just try and think.
So an answer from Ravi Teja is do not lose hope at first.
Shall we give, sorry?
Do not lose hope at first.
Okay. All right. She's stuck. Yes. All right. So it's about mindset during hard times, what Sanchit is also asking. Don't we all feel stuck? Many a times it's like there is no way out. What to do? And you're right, don't lose hope, but do what? Okay, so I'm assuming that, people are not answering. So let me share the answer with you and tell you that what this pregnant deer do. This pregnant deer decided to do what she was supposed to do in that moment, which was to deliver the baby. Because that was the only thing that she could have done. Like I'm saying, do what is there in your hand, what you are supposed to do. So she sat down to give birth to the baby. Okay, and it so happened that because there were clouds and it started raining, the forest fire got doused off. Okay, and because she had sat down on the ground to deliver the baby, when the hunter shot the arrow, okay, it actually killed lion because she was not there in the middle then, and everything got settled down, right? So the point is that just do what you are supposed to do, whatever is there in your hand in that moment, and things will be taken care of. So this should be our mindset during hard times, Sanchit. Does that answer your question? I would like some responses there also, because in case, in case people need some more clarification, or if you're not satisfied with the answer, we will, I would like to know that also.
I think in between, while you were giving the answer, Sanchit had mentioned that the deer will run towards the lion, then run back towards the hunter, so that the hunter will kill the lion.
Okay.
Yes. And he says that you did answer his query.
All right. Great. Okay. I think that's another good thinking, Sanchit. Deer will run towards the lion and the hunter will kill the lion.
Yeah. So then run back towards the hunter so that the hunter will kill the lion. Sort of, I
Okay.
think, leading on by.
Yeah. I think that's where I like the young energy of young people, they really have out of the box thinking, right?
Yes,
Great.
that's true.
I think such a great thought, but I'm not too sure what would have happened. What would the hunter have decided in that moment?
That's
Right.
true.
But yeah, it's a good chance that she could have taken. But I think the easier thing would be to do what you're supposed to do. Right.
Right. And that's, I think, our takeaway, at least from this story, is like do what you're supposed to do at that moment.
Yes.
What's in your control.
What's in your control? Absolutely. Okay.
All right.
It is in the acceptance of instability that we find stability, because that's why. So see, basic thing remains same, that we are shouldn't be like that. That's where we are stuck if you really look at it. So accept that what it is, right? Don't get stuck at what is shouldn't be, right? Any more questions?
Madhu, not from the YouTube channel. I think
Sure.
unless maybe we wait 5 seconds more because of the lag and see. But I think, let's see, these
In case
are.
you want to ask some question, you can, based on your experience with students.
Well, I know it's a very difficult time for them. Especially from speaking to even a lot of teachers, saying how just the whole Zoom aspect of things. I know we're having this presentation on Zoom, but nowadays students are fixated on Zoom like literally 4 to 5 hours a day with classes and whatnot, and that I think missing that camaraderie as well, which they had being
Yes.
on their team, being with their classmates, a
Yes.
huge difference. Not being on a different campus and having to be in the same place day in and day out. Um, yeah, and navigating that, I think that's a huge thing. Even with the whole situation, I can completely relate. I mean, in 2008, when we had when I was studying in Toronto, and when we had what do you call it, the depression? Not even that, it wasn't the Great Depression, but
Yeah,
people
yeah.
were
The global meltdown.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
I get.
financial meltdown, and
Yes,
and
yes.
and people were saying this has not happened since the Great Depression, and I was doing it was my internship year, and I wasn't looking forward to graduating because everything looked dark at that time. Like, will I get a job? How's it going to be? And I remember how, like,
Yeah.
thinking like that was the end of the world sort of thing.
No, actually, and you're right. In fact, that reminds me, my own daughter, she is in the last year of her undergrad. She's doing computer science.
Right.
And, when this pandemic started and she happened to come here in the month of March, and that is the time, how it happens in US is that you get internships between the summers of
Yes.
third and fourth year, and they only give you the offer. So it was the time when a lot of companies were withdrawing their internship offers, and all of that was happening. Some companies were telling that if you're not in the US, we'll not offer you, and things like that. So of course it was a difficult situation. And yeah, so what you're saying is, something like that was happening with my daughter also, that okay, what if I don't get the internship and things like that? What will happen? This is the question of my life, you know.
Yeah.
that's actually that actually was the thought. Yeah.
Right.
But then
And
in turn, actually, what it all worked out, so there were some, of course, problems, there were some issues, but then finally it all worked out. And the only message to her also, my only message to her was that just do your best within the given situation.
yes.
And that is because that is what you can do. And it did work out. It did work out. Everything went smoothly, and they gave an offer, which was like a pretty good offer, and everything worked out basically.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. My situation was 2008, and now we're in 2020, right? At that moment, at that time, and that place, I thought that I'm not going to go anywhere, right? And it's exactly what you say, is like you just do your best at that time, and you cannot control everything around you, and eventually a path will form, and a way will be
Yes.
there, whichever way.
And this is life. This is life. Things will not always, or rather, things will never be the way you want it to be. You know, there would always be some situations which you'll have to face. And this is what is life. Otherwise, it will be boring, right? Isn't it? I understand the social isolation that you're talking about, Kathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something, because yeah, we kya bolte hain, man is a social animal and all of that. We like to meet and chat and all of that. But yes, yeah, that is a difficult situation for all of us. Keep yourself busy. I mean, so of course, students ko to I don't think this is a problem. Uh, but yeah, make the best use of time and find creative ways to, connect with each other. Okay. Rather than focusing on what is not there. So I wish it would be like that. I would prefer if it would be like that, but I can't be stuck there. Yeah.
Madhu, I have a question for you. Actually, before, maybe because it's on the same line as what you mentioned about creative ways, do you think that based on the society, the system, and the culture that we grow up within, do you think that when we are asked to find creative ways, especially because our target audience here is they're engineers, that they are not able to find these arts or whatever. They might be, some may be good in dance, some may be good in arts, in painting, in other ways of creative
Yes.
outlets. But do you think that they don't go for those because there's a stigma against it, like, oh, you're an engineer, how can you why would you do
Yes.
this? Or
Yes. Especially in India, it is. Especially in India, because we still have is a country who's really like engineers and doctors, and nowadays MBAs and all of that.
yeah.
But yes, and also because there might be a, like, if you want to do, please go ahead. Like, my personal belief is that you can do well in anything that you are feeling passionate for. Okay, you are bound to do well, provided of course you continue to work hard in that. Okay, there are no shortcuts to success for that matter. But having said that, yes, because if many times what happens that parents also, they discourage children to not go for these kind of creative fields. Whatever they find their passion in, okay, you can take it as a hobby, right? That is there. uh, but yeah, I mean, so right now, because they are already doing this, and at this stage, you know having, like, I'm turning 50, by the way. So having seen this much of life, what I can say is that uh, this is just a start. This engineering degree is just a start, and people can go into various different fields. People start from something else. I did not know, I am going to get into psychology. I've done my MBA in finance, when I did my studies. So everything, the world is open to you, right? So keep that you feel passionately about. Um, when I was talking about creating creative ways to engage yourself, what I meant was, use all these things, whatever your hobbies or other creative ways. Maybe you can use Zoom a lot. There are so many apps these days with each other and all of that. So, that is what I was talking about.
Great. Thank you for that, Madhu. We do have one last question from Ravi, who mentioned about his seizures. He says, "Ma'am, every time I go to bed, I will, I think he means I will be shot by all these problems, and I can't sleep. This makes my seizures severe. I have an opportunity to control my mind, but I am not able to control my seizures. I think that's what he wanted to continue with.
Okay, so Ravi, if I understand your question correctly, you are saying that you are thinking that I should be able to or must be able to control my seizures for me to feel better, or for me to feel focus on my studies. I think this is what you're doing. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if this is what you're doing, uh, if you would need to give up on the need to accept your situation, and because if it is too much, then probably you can try speaking to some therapist also. If it is too much, it is something which you're not able to have a hold on, you can try speaking to some therapist. You can talk to me, take an appointment, or anyone else who you would be comfortable with. But do that. Just because you have epilepsy and you get seizures does not mean that uh, you cannot attain your goals.
Great.
Right?
Yes, he agrees with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Madhu, I guess since we are almost nearing to the end of our session,
Yes.
before we leave, would you like any sources you suggest, any resources you suggest for those who are trying to cope up with, this? I know you have provided a lot of material, especially over here, but any in the case that, should things don't work out well for them, any sources, anything that they can refer to,
Uh,
any call numbers or all of, usually
uh, yeah, tell me.
sorry, usually I believe recently Faye D'Souza shared a couple of helpline numbers as well in case there were any concerns that anyone. But in the case that someone does have a bad, like just going through a terrible time, maybe they just went through panic attacks. Let's say they don't even know how to even contact a therapist, because it's not that kind of information is not very easily viable. You don't really know who to go and
Right,
ask, right?
right, right.
In that situation, would you recommend that they meet up with a really good friend who they can at least sort of,
So, yeah, a couple of things. One is that it's very important to talk and seek help.
right,
Okay, so don't kind of keep suffering within yourself. You talk to your friends, talk to your family, whosoever you think will be able to just hear you out. Okay, they might not be able to solve the problem. Uh, Anyone who thinks comfortable with me, they can approach me. I can share my number. Another thing, what they can do is there's a telephone helpline which is I call. Okay, I don't have the number right now with me. Maybe I can share it with you later, Kathy, and then you can share it with your people. Okay, so that's a telephonic helpline of TIS. Okay, so that they can speak on. Okay, and a couple of books I think I would like to recommend, which you all can read. Uh, This Who Moved My Cheese is a very good book. It's a very short 60-page book. It's online PDF version also available. Who Moved My Cheese? It's a very common book, like a popular book. You might have heard of it. But if you can read it, it will give you a lot of idea about how to handle difficult situations in your life. Okay, what happens with this and how can you handle that? So that's one. Another book which uh, is a great book to read is Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Uh, so a lot of philosophies you'll be able to relate there. It's a little heavy book, so don't read it right now in the middle of the exams and all. Okay, but the sentence which I shared with you, the phrase which I shared with you, our freedom lies in the pause between stimulus and response. It comes from there, and it might really help you. Okay, that's what is coming to my mind right now, Kathy. I can think about any other resources maybe later, and then I can share with you.
That would be great. Madhu,
Yeah.
in the opposite reaction, should someone come and approach, let's say, like someone comes and approaches me saying they're having a tough time, what do you suggest that I do in that situation? As just a friend, if they're going through a tough time, what do you suggest that I should do and I should not do in that situation?
Right. I think that's a very good question. Okay, because we have to start supporting each other. The first thing is not being judgmental about what the other person is saying. Just hear the other person out, hear your friend out, hear him out. What is he wanting to say? The problems that he or she see, many a times what we say is, come on, yeah, this is a small problem. You can't be like stuck over here. Don't we say that? Okay, I'm sure you'll be able to deal with it. So let's not do that. Try and understand and be with that person, hear the person out with a complete open mind space. Okay, hold the space. Don't start giving any advice. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, then when he or she feels comfortable, he'll share and all of that would happen. If you think, you know, you have something which might help, just offer as a tentative suggestion, I will say, Kathy. Okay, so don't say that I know this is going to work. Many of us do that, and it really doesn't work the way I have seen it. Third, if you think, uh, that still, the person is struggling, so then please suggest him to speak to some therapist. This is still a taboo in India. A lot of misconceptions. People come to us when the situation has become really bad. So, and that's one thing which I always say on whenever I get to speak on any platform, that nipping in the bud is the great idea. Is one message which I would like to give all, that okay, don't make it so big that okay, because the more it is, and it's not like a pill. If you're going through some kind of mental health issues, it's not like a pill that you kind of take that pill and it'll uh, you know uh, take care of all the problems. You will have to work on yourself, of course with the help of the therapist, but ultimately you'll have to work on yourself. Okay, don't feel shame. In fact, I was looking at the poll results, and one of the questions which had stuck with me was that how to convince the parents to allow me to go take therapy or something like that. Somebody had asked that question, and that was really something I thought that yes, it is a thing in India still, like more so in India. There are a lot of misconceptions that okay, if you are going to a therapist, probably it's not a good thing. It's not to be seen by other people that you're going to a therapist and things like that. But it's not like that. We just simply help you resolve your own problems. Okay, there's no advice which is given, and you can contact us for simple problems if you think you're not able to deal with it yourself, or even after talking to your friends and family. There should not be any shame there. My earnest request to everyone.
I completely agree with that, Madhu. Um, well, thank you so much. I know it's been an hour, and to everyone, to all those who joined in, thank you for joining in. To Madhu, thank you so much for your time and for your valuable advice, and actually your tips on how to go around coping. Dealing with anxiety, stress, and for students, especially during these times of examinations. So thank you so much. And to those who have joined in, please do not forget to subscribe to the Formula Bharat YouTube channel for more content. It will be great to have you all with us through the end of the year. Madhu,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Any parting words that you have before we
Yeah.
end
Yeah.
today's session?
Thanks, Kathy. I really appreciate this because I like to kind of spread the awareness on mental health issues, and especially students who are the future, you know, for our country. So of course, I think I love the session. I love the questions also. Parting notes only. As I said, like a couple of things, just quick couple of things. One, nip it in the bud. Okay. Two, talk to your friends or whosoever. Okay. Three, don't feel shame in speaking to a therapist. I think these are the three things I would like to say.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Madhu. You have a
Thank you.
wonderful day ahead.
Chalo. All the best, guys. All the friends. All the best for your exams and everything. Bye bye.